Welcome to the Scam Economy with your host, Matt Bender.
Yes, that is right. It is the Scam Economy Crypto Hotline live post-show episode number 15. Man, we're just rolling through the episodes. I feel like it was just yesterday I started doing this show, and lo and behold, here we are, episode 15, and I'm about to sneeze any minute. Give me a second. I'm back. So before I open the phone lines, I have some clips I want to watch, and I thought it'd be fun to watch them right now, right at the top. The phone lines will be open soon. You can call in, open your Skype, Doomed Live. That's the username I use for my other show, Doomed with Matt Binder. But definitely call in when those phone lines open. I'll let you know when they're open, so I'll give you a second to open up Skype, download Skype, whatever. And all you have to do is type in Doomed Live, give it a call. I pick the numbers up as they come in. Thank you, everyone, for checking out that episode earlier today with Bennett Tomlin of Crypto Critics Corner. I thought he was absolutely fantastic in explaining the Terra Luna, Terraform, Algorithmic, stablecoin, why crypto is crashing due to Terra and Luna. I thought he was fantastic at this, explaining that, and like I said, he was on top of that well before I think a lot of people even heard of Terraform and Terra and Luna. And we'll be back to Terra and Luna in just a second. I do want to thank everyone who caught the early emergency podcast version. I released that episode as an audio podcast on the website scameconomy.com, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. And I only started this show about 15 weeks ago. New episode every week, actually about 16 weeks ago, I think, because I had to skip an episode because there was an emergency episode of Doomed I needed to do. But today, Thursday, May 12th, was the biggest single download day for the show so far. And the show already gets downloaded a lot. I previously said that the average Scam Economy episode gets, at least double what a highly downloaded Doomed episode would get. So today being such a highly downloaded day, I can tell you it was a lot of downloads. So thank you for your support. If you can, and we're flying up the Apple Podcast chart right now due to downloads alone. So if you can, download, subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And what will help with the rankings, which will get people to see the show, because people check that stuff out to find new shows. And also they're probably searching for Luna and Terra to find out what's going on right now. And, we'll come up. Go to Apple Podcasts. Just open up the app, Apple Podcasts, type in Scam Economy, click it, and go leave a review. Today's the day to do it if you haven't already. I really appreciate if you could do that. And then you can message me, and I'm behind for the people who've already done this. I know you haven't received the sticker yet. I gotta catch up. I'm behind. A lot of things going on. As I've mentioned previously, on Monday, I will be on Tim Pool's show. And I have a live Scam Economy in Brooklyn as part of the Digital Void Festival, on May 26th. That's not this upcoming Thursday, but the Thursday after that. But if you go and leave an Apple Podcast review, and you message me on Patreon at patreon.com/MattBinder, I will send you a Scam Economy sticker. Free of charge, no shipping and handling, and it doesn't cost you anything. You just left a review. And so as a thank you, I'll send you the sticker. All right, cool. So let's watch some of these clips. So let's go and talk more about Terra and Luna. Now, I did not see all of these clips before the episode you just saw with Bennett Tomlin aired. or we recorded and I put it together and aired it and released it and disseminated it. But they're certainly worth watching. So I've been poring over some interviews with Kwon, the founder of Terraform, which is the company that runs the Terra Luna ecosystem. And I gotta say, some of these videos are something else. Now, one's long. I don't know if the whole thing is worth watching. I haven't been able to get through all of this one because I just caught it right before we went live. But I did see a segment of it that I want to get to for sure. So it's about a 5-minute clip, and then there's 2 shorter ones after it. Sit back, relax, let's watch this, and I will commentate and make comments, and let's see how insane some of these interviews are in retrospect. Here we go. Kwon of Terraform.
Yeah, so the easy way to understand this is that we're using Bitcoin to create a decentralized forex reserve for the Terra stablecoin. So for any peg system, you generally keep a forex reserve of foreign currencies or highly liquid bonds in order to make sure you can meet short-term changes in currency demand. So the analog of this in a cryptocurrency system is exactly what we're doing with the Terra stablecoin and Bitcoin. The idea is that at any given time, you can trade in $1 worth of Terra USD and get $1 worth of Bitcoin, and vice versa, you can trade in $1 worth of Bitcoin and get 1 Terra USD.
Not anymore.
So in our choice to choose Bitcoin, Bitcoin is the biggest and the most neutral of all the cryptocurrencies, and Terra USD, at around $16.5 billion in market cap, is currently the largest decentralized stablecoin. So it made perfect sense for the two to work together.
And I'm curious, why not just hold dollar-based assets? I'm thinking about Tether, I'm thinking about USDC.
So if you're just listening to the audio version of this, when it goes up, this is Kwon on a Bloomberg show, Quick Take Stock. It's like one of their online shows, I think. This is good questioning so far from the interviewer. But he gets. Let's continue. You'll see.
Holding some form of treasuries and short-term commercial paper. Why go with Bitcoin to sort of get to the same place?
Yeah. So the important thing to remember about Terra is that it's a decentralized stablecoin in the sense that it has no issuer. So any person can mint Terra stablecoins by burning $1 worth of some decentralized asset. So if you were holding some sort of centralized collateral, so it could be some bonds.
Ooh, look at those prices on the on their. This is from early April. Bitcoin at 45,700. Excuse me. Ether 3,400. Solana 130. Dogecoin 14 cents. What is that all at now? Let's take a quick look. Thanks to Bitcoin's currently at 29,000. Ether 2,000. What else is on there? Solana. Let's see what Solana's at. Solana's at $45. Want to be clear. And Dogecoin is at 8 cents. Ooh. Wish you could go back that month now, don't you? Hodlers.
Or, Tether stablecoins, a circle or something like that. In that case, whoever is holding the largest amount of these reserves would be subject to censorship and would defeat the entire purpose of having decentralized stablecoins in the first place.
So why have you been so open to talking about your intention to buy so much Bitcoin? Couldn't that essentially open you up to front running and actually make the price of Bitcoin more expensive and increase your costs?
Sure.
Or maybe the opposite could happen. I don't know. I mean, when you watch, you'll see at the end of these clips, some of them are very... Listen to what he says for some of these answers. And in this clip and the other two I'll play you. Some of them are a bit too odd to me for just like, that's an interesting retrospective. In retrospect, I should say. I don't want to speculate too much on that, but just keep listening.
So one important thing to remember about what we're doing here is that this is not a corporate treasury decision in the sense that I am not buying Bitcoin. I've already donated money so that we can build up these reserves on behalf of the community. And we plan to be doing this in perpetuity. So the 3 billion or so that we're
perpetuity, I guess, has a much shorter lifespan then. Let's go.
buying initially to bootstrap the reserves is going to be followed up by, a persistent buys of Bitcoin through USD seniorage, in the sense that every time that USD is minted, there will be new Bitcoin that is added to the reserves. And given that this is a significant enough augmentation to the existing model of such that it impacts users of Terra USD, we felt like the communities of our users had a right to know in full transparency in terms of what was going on.
And something else that caught my eye, so this is an algorithmic stablecoin. I'm hoping you can very quickly walk us through that because we are running short on time. But I mean, if we think about other examples of algorithmic stablecoins, Iron Finance comes to mind, for example. That stablecoin actually broke down a little bit. And I'm wondering what's going to distinguish, UST from going the way of other algorithmic stablecoins such as Iron.
Yeah, so an algorithmic stablecoin, unlike fiat-backed stablecoins or levers-backed stablecoins, are not backed by explicit collateral. Rather, they are supported and stabilized by algorithmic incentives to stabilize at the peg. So what you get in decentralization and scalability that fully collateralized or over-collateralized models don't have is you sacrifice on sort of economic stability, in the sense that, like, if you experience 50, 60, 70% in a drop of a currency, then in that case, like, the stablecoin would no longer be pegged. But
you don't say. You don't say. What is the currency Luna currently at, and what is the stablecoin Terra currently pegged at? Let's take a look. Well, Terra UST, Terra, which again is the stable coin that should be pegged to $1 at all times, is currently at 5 cents. Now Luna, the stable coin that helps Terra stay pegged, the incentivized coin, I should say, is currently at 6. Let's see. How many zeros is after that decimal point? 0.0062 cents. I want to really drive home what this means. Luna, for Luna holders, because that's the one where essentially you could make money by holding that coin. When this interview was going on, Luna was around $116, maybe a little bit less. 107, between 103, $116. You hear what I'm saying right now? 103 to 100, the low hundreds. That means if you bought a single Luna for $100 in April, let's say April, early April, you let's say that $100 got you a full single one Luna token. Today, your $100 is fucking worth less than a penny. If you bought $1,000 worth, that would be 10 Luna coins. $1,000 at that same time period. Your Luna, your $1,000 worth of Luna is now worth around 3 cents. Excuse me, 5 cents. 5 cents. I was trying to do the extra math in my head, and I'm at 5 cents. That's bad. Now, like, keep extrapolating that. Like, keep going down the line here. I mean, it's easy to see just how much money people lost here. If you put 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 in. I mean, it's difficult for me because like, obviously I feel bad for the everyday retail investor, the average Joe who got fucked on this. I mean, what do I say all the time? I say it all the fucking time. Listen, I constantly also want to say, I don't offer financial advice. I don't tell you to buy or to sell or don't get involved at all or definitely do get involved. I definitely don't tell you to definitely get involved. But you're an adult, your responsibility here, but I'm here to provide you the information. And I give you all the warnings and I try to tell you as much as possible what you should know about, frankly, this whole fucking thing. But, I think, like, if you're someone who put, like, I could see someone, everyday person maybe having a couple $1,000, just an extra job here or there, and there you go. You wanted to see if you win the lottery, so you would do this. And I feel bad for those people for sure. But, like, when you hear the people who've lost everything and they put, like, 6 figures into this fucking one token, it's like, first of all, who has that much money to just throw around at this? I mean, what do you do for a living? How much money do you make every year? Do you, like, live at home and have no kids, no responsibilities, bills are paid by the parents? Like, I'm trying to understand what job a everyday middle-class person would have that gives them, like, $100,000 of disposable income plus. I mean, I constantly hear, like, oh, don't spike the football on the people who are going around, of course, saying when they're in the green, when they're doing great, they go to you and they say, oh, have fun staying poor, to people who critique crypto or just don't want to get involved. Oh, not gonna make it. And then when they lose, they want you to pull out the violins and feel bad for them. And they don't learn their lesson either, the vast majority of them. They'll be back with whatever money they have down the road, throwing it down on the next fucking bullshit coin that scams them. Like, I really don't understand. Like, again, if you lost a couple $1,000s and you're, and that's a lot to you, I could understand. I still think it's ridiculous you put that much on a regular, like, any crypto, honestly. I mean, but okay. But, like, who are these poor working class people we should feel bad for who lost 6 figures in this shit? All right, let's keep listening because this gets better. I mean, as in more entertaining for us.
The weird thing about existing algo stablecoin models that, that made the news by failing recently was that they combined weaker economic guarantees with insane Ponzi-like APRs that just wasn't sustainable. So for Iron Finance, I think at peak they were offering something like 12,000% APR on a stablecoin that was brand new, which just absolutely didn't make any sense.
Okay, so point taken. And I do want to ask you one more thing. I mean, you mentioned that the Bitcoin purchases weren't necessarily a treasury decision, but
I just want to point out, if you remember, Bennett Tomlin brought up the Anchor protocol on the Terra blockchain, which was the main DeFi product on the Terra blockchain. So Terraform's Anchor protocol. They were offering 20% APR. I mean, if I recall, I think Brandon of the Discourse, excuse me, said this on the Majority Report earlier today. That's double what Bernie Madoff was offering in his Ponzi scheme.
That being said, I mean, you will have one of the biggest accumulations of Bitcoin out there. I mean, at $10 billion, that's more than MicroStrategy, for example. And
MicroStrategy, by the way, is the tech software company publicly traded on the stock market that basically threw out any sort of product they make. And their main focus is literally investing in Bitcoin. Michael Saylor, its founder and CEO. I believe he's the founder too. He is always out there. He's like one of the biggest Bitcoin maxis, constantly pumping Bitcoin, excuse me. He famously said when Bitcoin hit its all-time high, its peak of around $69,000, at that moment, Michael Saylor famously said, you should, and this was talking to regular people, like just publicly to people, you should sell everything you own and buy Bitcoin, invest everything in Bitcoin right now. I mean, let's continue.
I mean, I'm wondering if the fact that that's sort of a systemic.
Oh, and by the way, she's talking about like what's sounds volatile for the crypto market. Michael Saylor's company, MicroStrategy, what they also do to buy more Bitcoin every time there's the dip, and they've bought and are now at a loss on a number of those purchases. I think they're still, they've lost a lot, but they're still in the green because some of their earlier purchases were lower than what Bitcoin's at right now. But I also believe at like 21,000, when Bitcoin hits 21,000, they would be margin. There'll be a margin call for MicroStrategy. But anyway, what I was gonna say is, to buy more Bitcoin, they take out loans on the Bitcoin to then go and buy more Bitcoin. If that doesn't sound like something that's going to fall apart eventually, then I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Christ.
A large amount of Bitcoin, whether that gives you any pause about what the implications could be for the broader crypto ecosystem, should something not great happen to UST.
Here we go. I want to rewind that a second. Listen to her question again. Here comes his answer. I just want to, one more time.
The fact that that's sort of a systemically large amount of Bitcoin, whether that gives you any pause about what the implications could be for the broader crypto ecosystem, should something not great happen to UST.
Well, so I think people need to have a little bit more faith in crypto. So.
All right, let's continue though.
If you look at Bitcoin,
look at him. I. That's the face. That shit-eating grin. That's the face of someone who's hearing this question, and I think he knows that something is up or coming down the road. I mean, oh my God! Come on.
Well, so I think people need to have a little bit more faith in crypto. So if you look at Bitcoin, it turns over more than $20 billion per day. And I think with time, it's going to be even more liquid. So even if a stable coin were to depeg over time and those reserves would be used to defend that peg, I think Bitcoin would more than easily be able to absorb the Bitcoin that enters the market. And we have strong confidence that UST is going to continue to grow and stay stable. So on net, we think it's going to be positive.
Joey, do you think somebody who's
Oh my God.
who's watching this right now, who may be new to the crypto space, might be really confused about what's going on here? And I'm wondering how you see this becoming adopted by large masses of not just people, but companies and governments, if indeed to a lot of people it's just really, really complicated.
Yeah, so I mean, currency systems fundamentally are supposed to be complicated if you dig into how they work in the background, right? And it's because there's a lot of dynamics at play. But at the end of the day, the only thing that the end user needs to take away is that you have a digital native dollar that is stable, is fully decentralized, that doesn't come with the compliance overhead of fintech and neobanks. And I think that's a fundamentally good thing for the internet.
Ah. Yeah. Yeah. Let's watch this next clip. More Do Kwon. These are shorter, a lot shorter, but they're good. What's this first one? Let's watch this one.
I think if we scale that.
Oh, this one. Okay, let's play this one. Here's Do Kwon once again.
I think if we scale that to $10 billion. So the reason why I want to get to 10 billion is that besides Satoshi, we will.
All right, so this is Do Kwon talking about how much Bitcoin he wants to hold. And he says, he's going to be the second largest holder of Bitcoin. That is right after Satoshi, the anonymous founder of Bitcoin, who has a huge wallet that's never been touched. No one knows why he hasn't touched it. No one knows what happened to Satoshi, where he or she is, what she's doing. But that wallet of his with, I think it's something like billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, just sitting there, untouched.
I think if we scale that to $10 billion. So the reason why I want to get to 10 billion is that besides Satoshi, we will be the largest single holder of Bitcoin in the world. Now, then in that case, like within the crypto industry, then the failure of UST is equivalent to the failure of crypto itself, right? Because if the largest single wallet sells off all the Bitcoin, then that's an issue.
I mean, A, that seems in retrospect very funny that he said that. And then B, seems sort of counterintuitive to the idea of this all being decentralized. That if your stablecoin UST goes down, it's taken everything down with it. And let's go to this final clip. Now, this is a good one. This is a very good one. Here's Do Kwon about when other coins fail.
I wonder how many of these companies you think are entering the space just because it's hot and there's a lot of funding versus the ones that will still be here, 2 to 5 years later.
I just want to point out this was exactly 8 days ago. Just a week and a day ago, this interview.
Still be here, 2 to 5 years later.
95% are going to die.
Yeah.
95% are going to die. Yeah. But there's also entertainment in watching companies die too.
There's entertainment. Oh man, that's so evil. At least you get to learn from it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's entertainment in companies dying. But at least you get to learn from it. I'll agree. There's been a lot of entertainment in watching this company die. The question I have is, though, I wonder what Do Kwon learned from it. Maybe we'll soon find out. All right, let me call into the phones system. Skype is opening up right now. Call Doomed, search Doomed Live on Skype. And you can call into this show. It's first come, first serve basis. I pick up as soon as you call in. Those phone lines are now open. Excuse me. Here we go. Oh, two people just called in and hung up immediately. Oh, here we go. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Matt, how's it going? It's Adam from LA.
Hey, Adam from LA. It's going good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Good. Hey, one thing I wanted to touch on, I don't know if you addressed it in the first half, is the correlation between margin calls and the drop in Bitcoin because of the crossover. I've seen that quite a bit lately.
I think early on in the interview, I before we even got into Luna and Terra, I did ask Bennett what about the contributing factors to this current crypto crash, and I think he very briefly just mentioned that, but I could be wrong. Do you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So I noticed the other day, one of my cousins who, does some day trading as well. He noticed, he said, hey, he knows I'm not on Facebook. He says, you should get on the Facebook marketplace. There's a lot of luxury goods going for dirt cheap right now. And he was DMing a couple of these people selling fully loaded Maseratis, not new, but not that old, for like 40K, says cash only. And he was DMing some of the guys, and they said, I got hit with these big margin calls lately because of Amazon, Apple, and all the tech stocks dropping. And what I did is I logged on with his account, and I saw like Rolex, all these kind of like, douchey ass items for sale. And a lot of it is because these retail traders who have a big crossover with the cryptocurrency are trading on heavy margin. And unfortunately, I just don't think they know what they're doing in that regard. And they're playing with money that's not theirs, thinking everything is going to the moon. And when things crash land back on Earth, the bank wants their money. And I've seen that around the same time when I was looking at basically the poor earning results correlating with the drop in stock sales, a lot of the crypto market started crashing. And I really think there's a big crossover between people who are trading in both that just have to liquidate any asset possible. And it kind of creates this snowball effect.
Right. There's definitely correlation there. And I mean, I guess more generally, obviously, if the market is down, people are looking to sell off to, I guess, pay for. Again, I'm not really a financial expert or a stock guy.
Neither am I.
Yeah, I
Please
cover
crypto.
Yeah, that's why I thought Bennett Tomlin was extremely helpful in explaining that area. I cover this more as I cover crypto more from the tech and cultural standpoint. But when you're talking crypto, it's impossible to not talk about the financial aspect of it, because that's what it's become. Like, it's no longer like, that's the thing. Like, people constantly were saying early on for a while, even if you don't agree with its current use, you have to, look at the technology. But I mean, it's pretty clear that no one in the crypto space cares about the technology. I mean, it's become simply a financial device. I mean, if they care about the technology, they would listen to literally all the software engineers and computer scientists who look at the technology and say, this shit sucks as a technology. Like, this is not even good tech. But yeah, I have noticed in a more general sense, when the stock market is not doing well, obviously crypto follows along with it. And that's in my estimation. And I think a lot of experts have said this, and that's sort of where I get it from. I read that stuff, is that, when people are selling, they're going to obviously get rid of their most volatile investments. And if they're investing in crypto, their most highly volatile investment to get rid of is the fucking crypto.
The invisible money, basically.
Yeah.
And one thing I wanted to note before I let you go, essentially, is I haven't seen I'm all on YouTube and all these, different streaming platforms, and I haven't seen a commercial probably in like years. And I was at my parents' house like a weekend or two ago, and they had just like basic TV on. And I kid you not, like 90% of the commercials were about crypto. And the thing that struck me as predatory was this one commercial targeted, for younger people that said, hey, if you're thinking about getting a 401k, you should look into this 401k that lets you invest into crypto. And just from my, very, 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 very crude experience with finances and retirement accounts, Roth IRAs, or deferred tax plans, is it really doesn't matter what they're investing in and for you. Your whole goal is that I need something that's going to appreciate and return later on. And it kind of made me realize the financial market is being predatory, kind of reverse engineering it, saying we need young people, you kids like crypto. Let's sell you, styled things, but lure you in with crypto, because no one in their right mind, regardless of, even if it's Bitcoin, why would you peg something that's so volatile to your retirement account?
Right. And, they were, I think it was Fidelity wanted to start adding crypto investments into like their broader retirement funds, like their retirement, like investments. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? But, to me, I think that when the Super Bowl, and I did an episode of Scamacon, one of the first episodes of Scamacon, I think it's episode 4, was about all the Super Bowl commercials. You'll probably remember all the Super Bowl commercials that were hawking crypto. You had Coinbase, FTX, Crypto.com. What else? There was a few other ones. I can't remember. eToro was promoting, they're a larger investment, like they do stocks as well, but they were pushing the crypto stuff on their app as well. And it hit, like it was quite obvious to me that they're going that route now because they're running out of demand. Like everyone who bought crypto who wanted to buy crypto at that time had bought in. And so for this to work, people need to keep buying in. I mean, that's how Ponzi's work. If new money isn't coming in, then people won't be able to get out. People who are already invested won't be able to get out their money. And obviously they want a profit, right? So to get a profit, you put money in, you expect to take your money and a little of someone else's money out, right? Because there's no revenue being generated. There's nothing being created here. There's no product or service being sold. So the only way you're going to make X amount on your initial investment is if you take money from other people who already have or are going to invest as well. I mean, that's how it works. And when those Super Bowl commercials aired, and you heard everyone saying like, "Oh, is this gonna be like the .com bubble, where like a year later, all those companies after they aired, like all those 2000 .com companies, year 2000, I should be explicit here." Like Pets.com, they aired their Super Bowl commercial, and then like a year later, like half those companies were going under. Another like 25-30% of them were being acquired. They all went bust almost. And it's interesting how quick this just happened. And I wonder, and I wonder how less actually. I think like 3. I wonder if they knew how dire it was, like, because they spent a lot of money, they pushed really hard, and I mean, Coinbase, like, this isn't just like, oh, your Bitcoin isn't worth that much anymore, but if you bought early on, you're still in the green, or like, oh, if you bought Luna, you're completely underwater, you're done, your money's gone, it's never coming back. This isn't just even the crypto market. Coinbase, a publicly traded on the stock market crypto exchange, the US's biggest crypto exchange, not the biggest exchange in the world, but it's the United States' biggest crypto exchange. They were trading at like $300 not too long ago. Like they just got in the stock market this year. And like a month or two ago, they were at like $300. Now, what are they at? What is Coinbase's? 1 second. I know it's not even in
30. It's 30. Financial Times reported on this morning. I think it was like 34 something.
Okay, right now, like I guess
90%.
This morning it hit $41. Right now it's at $58.
Oh, okay, well, big bucks.
Yeah, right now it's at $58. But they were on the stock market. They opened. That wasn't that long ago. I gave them a little bit more credit actually. They were on their stock started trading in April, and it opened at $342, and it peaked. No, I'm sorry, not April. April of last year, I should say. So over a year, but still. So $342, but then it peaked in November at 340, a little bit more, 342 and change. So if you had invested in, and it stayed, between April and November, it was in the 200s. So between 225 and 350, it looks. So if you had invested any time last year during the big crypto boom, and you thought, oh, Coinbase on the stock market, crypto may be volatile, but here's a legit company in that space. So with crypto doing good, I'm gonna invest in Coinbase on the stock market. You're at a big loss too right now. You lost about 80% of your investment right now.
Well, even if you have any of your finances or your cryptos in Coinbase, the biggest thing you should be worried about is if they go into bankruptcy proceedings, which reported on this morning, a lot of people are scared they're going to because they've taken on a lot of debt, building up the stock. Those cryptos aren't yours. They're technically their assets that
Right.
you're I don't know, borrowing. I don't know what the actual terminology is. So if they go into bankruptcy, you're closed out of your wallet essentially.
Yeah, they added in their terms of service. They basically added a disclaimer that basically says that if, like what you said, Coinbase goes into bankruptcy, clients may not be able to log into their accounts and take their crypto out because that crypto may become an asset of Coinbase and it would become part of their liquidation measures. So crypto people say, not your keys, not your wallet. I mean, excuse me, not your coin. And it's true, but that's not how it should work. I mean, if you have your money in the bank, like a federally backed bank, there is regulations that basically ensure up to $250,000 of your money inside your bank account. And if you're someone who has more than $250,000, what you often do is you open multiple bank accounts, and that every amount in each account is then backed. Nothing like that is in crypto world.
Maybe they'll give you an ape if you're lucky, or a slurp.
Maybe you'll get a slurp, which, by the way, I got to do an episode on that. I don't know if you heard, but the slurp apes turned out to be a Nazi thing.
Oh, that's great. Of course. Yes. The collab everyone was waiting for, cryptos and Nazis together at last.
Yep.
Before one more thing before I'll jump off is, what do you think the final rug is going to be?
As in amount or the token?
Not so much just the final one. This is predicated on assuming that crypto will either go away or just basically implode to nothing.
No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
It's going to stick around, you think?
Oh, absolutely. Bitcoin's still at 28,000. I mean, everyone who bought over the past, everyone who bought since ordinary people got interested in crypto is underwater right now, pretty much. This is at levels that we haven't seen since December 2020. Now, remember, meme stocks don't happen. The AMC and GameStop bump in the stock market doesn't happen until January of 2021. And then just a few months later, crypto sort of tracked with it. And then a few months later, crypto blew up. And then a few months after that, NFTs followed. Not even months, but weeks after NFTs followed. So remember, this isn't that long ago. This is just a year out. So we're at levels that we haven't previously seen of Bitcoin since December 2020. So anyone who bought in as soon as your mom and dad found out what Bitcoin was is underwater right now. But
we don't have the prop up of the stimulus money, which I think played a big factor, or enhanced unemployment, where people started saying, "Hey, you know what? Maybe I'll throw $20, $100 into it."
Well, Tether's printing up right now and sending their money around.
Okay.
They have their own bailouts. They have their own magic money bailouts. When Tether, seeing what happened when Terra fell, basically the third biggest stable coin, still big, but I mean, I don't think anyone really was considering Terra falling, Terra failing when they were thinking of what's going to come and be the reckoning for the crypto market. I mean, obviously some people did, but that wasn't like the main speculation. A lot of people are waiting for Tether to drop. I mean, Tether lost its peg briefly today, and that was a big deal. It dropped to 95 cents, but they quickly got it back to $1. When Tether, what you see with Tether is whenever Bitcoin starts a free fall, usually, all of a sudden, like $1 billion or several hundreds of millions of dollars of Tether are all of a sudden printed up and sent out. They pretty much are then used on the exchanges to buy Bitcoin to prop up the Bitcoin price. And so when David Gerard is a major, this is one of his biggest sticking points to this whole thing. The money is not there. Like you hear about the market cap of these coins, but the liquidity is not there. Like if the amount of people who have their coins, the amount of people who own Bitcoin right now all wanted to sell for whatever the market cap is, all that money is not there to cover that because so much of it's been bought with the made up fucking Tether that gets printed up whenever they need to to prop up the Bitcoin price. So when Tether fails, which I not speculate when, but knowing how shady they are and all the issues they've been having, legal issues they've been having, it seems like it could come sooner rather than later. But who knows? That'll be the real one to watch. That'll be the then we'll find out exactly how much Bitcoin is actually worth.
Predictions for that? You think it will range below 20, below 10?
I got no clue. I really don't know. I don't know. That's a hard one, to be honest with you. I don't know. I mean,
we'll find out together.
Essentially, it's worth nothing, obviously, because without it being, if you can't trade it for U.S. dollars, like if you can't trade it for actual fiat currency, it's worthless. And if Tether fails and Bitcoin drops so much in value, will people still be interested in it? Will it go back to maybe its original use cases of just being like libertarian funny money, like their wanting need to create their own little finance that doesn't involve the Federal Reserve or require going through government-backed channels? I mean, maybe that'll end up being, maybe it'll revert back to that if that happens. I don't know, though. I don't know. I mean, we'll see a lot. See, that Bitcoin will be the last one to fall, though, obviously. I mean, if everything else dies, I could still imagine a scenario where Bitcoin lives. Maybe Ethereum, too, only because it's trying to build out, apps on the blockchain. It's trying to actually make, like, an ecosystem. I think it's bullshit, being that, that's Web3, basically. All those apps and stuff being built on Ethereum. I think that's bullshit too, but I think that's what my outlook of this all is. I don't want to speculate though on pricing it'll hit, because I don't really think it matters in the end. The point is that like it's all bullshit, whether it's worth $1.95 or $100,000 a coin.
Time will tell. We'll see plenty more episodes until then, hopefully.
Yeah, that's something you can bet on. That's the guaranteed bet that I'll be talking about it as long as there's something to talk about.
You heard it here first, folks. Scam economy token coming soon.
Yeah. Invest now. Patreon.com/Matt Binder. That's where you can make the investment. You get nothing in return, by the way, except for content. I make that clear.
That's fine. That's fungible. I can live with that.
Yeah, there you go. Have a great night. Thank you for the call.
Cool, Matt. Take care.
Bye. The Matt Binder guarantee. Someone just called in and I missed it. They must have been on just as I was. That's Doomed Alive, by the way. Oh, and if you're on Twitch, if you have an unused Twitch Prime subscription, why not use it on me? Just connect your Amazon Prime account with your Twitch account if you haven't already. You get a free subscription to use every single month. It's basically taking money from Amazon and giving it to me at no extra cost to you. Use your Twitch Prime subscription this month on twitch.tv/MattBinder. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, this is Sigil from Nigeria.
Sigil from Nigeria. How are you?
Kind of sick, so sorry about my voice.
Oh no, you sound fine, but I hope you're doing good. Is it? I hope it's not COVID. Is it COVID?
I'll never know because the test is 50,000 naira, which is like $110, $120.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so
god! All right.
no way
Yeah.
of finding out.
Oh damn! All right. Well, I hope you feel better, no matter if it's COVID or the common cold or whatever it is. Please feel better. What would you like to talk
Yeah,
about?
thanks. Well, first I just want to shout out to Dave from Jamaica and Olu for being really nice to me in the chat. I usually don't look at chat because I just watch it on my phone and there's no chat function. So, yeah, thanks for being nice to me and everyone else that was nice to me.
Oh, there we go.
Also, my pronouns are they, them.
Okay.
Just because, yeah, because there is some confusion over that. So it's fine. Don't worry about it. You get it all the time. What I wanted to talk about is basically how crypto people are kind of their own worst enemy when trying to pitch this kind of stuff to normal people. So first of all, I'm just really glad I have learning disabilities so that every time someone tries to explain to me how to open a crypto wallet, I immediately stop paying attention. Like it literally just turns into white noise. But secondly, I was talking to my artist friend the other day because we were collaborating on something, and I knew she was trying to get into maybe minting some NFTs. And I asked her, okay, so have you sold any NFTs yet? And she was like, well, I haven't actually minted anything yet because I was in a space where someone was trying to explain this to me. And he was just so like condescending and annoying that I pretty much gave up on the entire crypto thing to begin with. Like, I'm not interacting with any of these people. Even if that means I get like however many thousands of dollars at minting an NFT. So that's kind of, I'm glad they have that kind of void of anti-charisma.
I mean, it costs. There is a startup cost to minting those NFTs. So, like, people talk about how it's empowering, starving artists. I mean, they do need to come up with the money before they even sell a single thing, if they even do, just to be able to get their NFT on the chain.
Exactly. And like this person is like a mother and has like a family as well. So it's like you're basically asking people who are already in a position where they don't have that much disposable income to spend like money they don't have. And the thing is, they'll tell you that you can do like what's it called, a lazy mint, which is basically whoever wants to buy the token pays for the gas fee. But that's like that's also a waste of, to me, that's also a waste of time because I think that makes the NFT less appealing. I don't know. It kind of takes away from the point of it, if that makes sense.
Have you heard? No, it makes sense. Have you heard of any fallout because you were telling me one of the prior times you've called in how basically people like to bring up countries like yours as like, crypto is empowering to the people there because of the volatility of their actual government-backed legal tender, their currency, and crypto advocates use these sort of countries as sort of a shield to back up what they say about crypto. And you told me last time that it's not true. People there basically just who do dabble in crypto have the excess funds to do so, and the impoverished and the poor, or even the worker, the working class of Nigeria, they don't have the funds to be able to fool around with crypto. Have you heard anything in terms of fallout from this crypto crash and how it's affecting anyone there?
I haven't heard anything yet because I'm not on Twitter, but I'll look into it to see if like people are really pissed, which I imagine they really are. Like I said, like Nigeria is one of the main crypto traders in the world, but that's also like concentrated to like very few people. So I
Right.
feel like the tech bros must be like hurting at least a little, right? I don't know. I literally just heard about the crash because I
Right.
watch your show. I don't
Right.
really
I
pay
mean,
attention to crypto outside of that.
right. Oh, well, that's I like hearing that. Thank you. That's makes me feel like I'm doing something very important, honestly. And if
Yeah.
if any of those crypto investors there were investing in Luna, they're done. They're done. I mean,
Yeah, pretty
that's
much.
geez. I mean,
When
if
you said $1,000 became what became 5 cents, I was shaken. Like I
yes.
didn't even lose any money, and I and I was sick to my stomach.
Right? Can you imagine? Like I could see, like usually when there's a big loss, you usually hear like, oh, $1,000, a year ago is now worth $100 today. Like maybe a 90% loss is a devastating loss usually. But to go to 1,000 to like 4 cents, I mean, there's not even like, well, at least you could save your $100. It's gone. Everything you
No,
put in is gone.
no,
It's all gone.
everything. That's so. Oh my God. Oh, that's like the secondhand like pain that I'm feeling for those people. Like usually I don't feel bad for crypto people, but I actually feel bad if you if you lost if you took an L that large. That's painful.
Oh, I've seen people who took L's in the hundreds of thousands. At least that's what they're saying online. So I mean,
Oh,
literally saying like their entire savings wiped out. I mean, this is the thing to me though. Like, I truly feel bad for like the average person, which would mean like, anyone who's not extremely, well off, who loses money in this sort of thing. But is that can you describe the type of person who has $100,000 plus to invest in cryptocurrency? Can you like ascribe that that to them? I mean, I would love to know what these people do for a living to have that much disposable income like that. Like, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I feel
yeah.
like I feel like shit when I buy like a $10 lotto ticket and lose. Like
Yeah, I can't imagine having any money right now. So that's it's a lot. Um, yeah, that's I don't know, maybe like young doctors, basically upwardly mobile professionals or something like that. I don't know. I have no clue.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's it, I
If,
guess, right? I mean, but I do think obviously that there are victims too, because obviously they were sold by snake oil salesmen on this shit.
yeah,
But at the same time, when you're dealing with you could be fooled out of a couple $1,000, and I will believe you're a total victim. I can see how that can happen. I don't see how you can be fooled out
yeah,
of hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, amazing. I mean, there's a point though where I feel
yeah.
like
I mean,
there's at least
maybe it was like some inheritance money or something. Like I'm trying to think of scenarios where that would be the case. But yeah, if like you got an inheritance from a relative or something, I don't know.
yeah,
That would be pretty bad too.
yeah. Thanks for the call,
I
Sigil. Oh,
also
oh, you have
wanted
something
to
else? Go
talk.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to say that I I'm in this group chat where we're all artists, and like 4 months all they would talk about was like their NFTs, and like none of them had sold any yet, but like they would talk about like giving tips on minting and selling and like adding value and whatever. And like it was just like they were uncritically really into like talking and investing in crypto until like I got kind of sick of it one day because I just wanted to talk about like if we're gonna do like a group exhibition, like sell like our actual physical art or something. So I compiled a list of like all the downsides of crypto and also linked what's his name, Dan Olson's video, Line Goes Up. And it was basically the environmental costs, like the cost of getting scammed, like how you're more very unlikely to actually sell your art, and like how there are multiple art thieves out there. So like basically the entire list of cons if they weren't gonna watch the video. And it was like the same, like very typical responses, which is like, oh, well, cars are a lot of wasted energy. And like, you could get scammed doing anything. Someone could break into your bank account right now. And like, the very easy rebuttal was like, cars you get from point A to point B. I don't like cars either, but they actually serve a purpose. And minting an NFT, there's no guarantee it actually sells. So like you could just have wasted all of that energy for nothing and wasted all your money for nothing. And instead you could like print t-shirts with your digital art on it to that you might actually be able to sell to somebody like physically right now. And and, and like when you if somebody like takes money out of your bank account, your bank is legally guaranteed to like do something about it. And that's not the case with NFTs or Ethereum or any kind of crypto. And like if as soon as I rebutted these things, they didn't really have an answer. So then they like started just giving the pitch of like, well, NFTs, it's a new technology. Like, what did he say? NFTs, it's more than just about art. And then I asked, then what is it about if it's more than just about art? And then they never responded. Like, basically, there was no response. It was all the kind of marketing that NFT people give you. So it I think like the basically what I'm learning is that there's no people just want to make money. Like everyone's just really desperate to make money. So like as soon as you like threaten the idea that like they could make money from this, like it kind of crumbles and there's nothing behind it. So basically in the group chat we agreed that yeah, we shouldn't be pressuring anyone else to be investing in NFTs. And someone else brought up a great point, which is like if it's so decentralized, then why do I have to pay this one person to get my art on there? And I think that kind of like diffused everything where everyone was super into talking about and promoting about crypto, and we actually now talk about just regular art. So yeah, if you're in an artist space and they're super into crypto, feel free to let out the stinky fart in the room of dissenting on their get rich quick scheme so that people don't get scammed or whatever.
Right. And I think that's what makes it so easy to scam crypto investors and people who buy crypto. They are blinded. Simply put, I mean, and I'm not saying this to be mean, but this is legitimately what it is. They're blinded by greed. They are searching for money. And I want to say this is not the same as like everyone needs money to live, obviously. Obviously it sucks, but that's what we need to do. We work to live because we need money, right? I don't like it any more than anybody else. But crypto people are specifically looking for easy money, like get rich quick money.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to put in work. They don't want to actually have to create something if they're, someone who, like an actual artist who wants to sell. Like they don't really care about that for the most part. They just want money quick and easy. And that's what the promise of crypto is for them. And so when they are so blinded by this idea of crypto that doesn't really exist for most people, they're very easily swayed and makes them prime targets for scammers who know exactly what a good mark is and how to work them over. And I think that's why you see so many scams in this space. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a lot of scams. And the thing about being blinded by greed in Nigeria, the culture is very much like everyone. I don't know who this quote is from. Everyone is like a temporarily embarrassed millionaire. Like everyone expects that they're eventually going to become the like Dangote, basically. Like they think like there's a lot of prosperity preaching and like basically glorification of wealth on every level. Every song is about how they're praying for you to become rich, or they are rich and you should admire them for being rich. Like on every level, it's a society based on poor people aspiring to become richer so that they don't see that the rich people in charge of them are actually the ones keeping them poor. So like NFTs are very appealing in that way because it's seen as like a get rich quick scheme, and it's mostly traded in dollars anyway, so that's a lot more money than you would get just selling art to people who buy in Naira. But
Right. Yeah. Sigil, thanks for the
Yeah.
call as always. Always. Is there anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Always a pleasure when you call in.
Yeah.
Really, I think you bring some great insight, and I really enjoy talking with you. Please, hope you call in more, and hope you keep enjoying the show.
Yeah, I will. Thanks, Matt. Talk to you later. Bye.
Take care. Bye. Oh, and feel better, Sigil. Feel better, please. I honestly didn't notice with your voice, if that's what you're worried about. But please feel better. Don't want anyone to here we go. Everyone strap in, because here is our resident crypto miner, I believe. Let me pull him up on the feed here.
Hello?
Oh no. Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Oh my god, your connection is poor. Has your connection, your internet connection lost
earlier
that?
with some other thing. I had one of your mods, Tony Rizzo or something. It was trying to get me to, there was the whole thing. I just,
Oh no.
I'm starting to feel bad. Like, I don't know if this crypto miner is making me happy anymore.
Oh no. Do you want to lay down the details for us, Cameron? For anyone who doesn't know, first-time listeners perhaps, Cameron is our resident cryptocurrency miner. He recently, just over the past month or two, became very wealthy and was able to leave his physical crypto mine and actually just work on the business end while hiring child laborers and their families to work in the crypto mines. And I'm guessing, I'm gonna make a wild guess, the crash has hit you, Cameron. Oh my god.
There was a crash? Fuck!
Wait, hold on. I have to honestly just ask for a second. Why do you have so many beers just sitting around?
Because I've been very sad about crypto, and I don't know how to deal with my own emotions, and I have generation, like my family's Scottish. No, I was talking about how, like, your last caller was,
Is that why you like crypto so much? Because it provides you with some freedom. Is that why? It's like part of your heritage?
No, it's because part of my heritage is people in the northern part of the UK were always having to work in mines.
Okay. But go ahead.
But
all right, fine.
what I'm really upset about is, your caller, like, talked about your previous caller from Nigeria, a very good caller, talking about being an artist and these NFTs and it got me thinking about my roots. Did you know that I went to art school?
Oh, that's I did not know that.
My first love was oil painting.
Oh.
I loved how, the fecundity of the painting. You could create so much out of nothing. It's like magic.
And what happened? Why didn't you? Why are you're not still painting? You could still be an artist even if it's not your career, my friend.
Well, this what makes me very sad is that if I had known at the time when I was focusing so much on painting that artists could use NFTs, then I would have been doing that instead.
All right. All right.
And
A listener in the chat is wondering if you're keeping those cans because you need to bring them to the supermarket to recycle for your nickel return.
You do that at the bottle depot, not at the supermarket.
Okay. Around here, they're at the supermarkets too. But so what's going on with the mine, Cameron?
Well, the mine is doing fine. That's our new slogan.
The mine is doing fine.
Doing fine.
All right. And the crypto crash has not affected you at all?
The crypto crash has not affected me at all.
Okay, so what have you been invested in then that wasn't affected by all this? Because as far as I saw, everything was pretty much taking a hit.
I've been teaming up with a series of investors that if I was able to get my computer working right, we tried to call in, but it overloaded the circuits on my computer to get all these guys to call in all at once to give you, because we were planning on giving you a perfect Friday the 13th episode of Scam Economy.
I did not even realize that tomorrow is Friday the 13th. Thank you, Cameron.
It is
spooky.
Today is Friday the 13th because all my company operates out of Russia.
Okay.
So we were gonna have on,
obviously,
Tony Rizzo summoned for us the Ghost of Salin. And then we were going to also have Substacula. And we were going to get a tale from the Crypto Keeper. But the computer program didn't work.
Okay.
So we'll do that another time, maybe Halloween.
All right, I could wait. I could wait. What month is this? Yeah, I could wait 5 months.
Yeah?
Yeah.
5 months? Man. Let's see if your show will be around after 5 months once everyone realizes that cryptocurrency is actually genius and a great way to do money.
Right. Yes. Maybe I'll have to pack it in. Maybe they'll eventually. Maybe you will be the one to eventually win me over.
I will be the one eventually to buy you out.
Ooh, like just you physically buy me, like my body. You're going to.
I don't know. It depends on what your crazy Supreme Court decides.
Ooh, right. Yes. I don't know if you're following it correctly, but I think you're on point too, though. I think point is made for sure.
It seems the basic point that is, I'm not going to get into this.
Yeah, does, yeah.
But good night, Matt Binder, and sweet dreams, and I hope you wake up and have a nice breakfast.
Thank you, Cameron. I hope you feel better. You could still make some beautiful art, buddy. You could still, who knows?
Now,
Maybe
my psychotherapist is Jordan Peterson, so I'm sure he'll correct me.
I'm sure, yeah, he's going to tell you definitely never do art again. He's going to whip you back into shape. All right, folks. Windleby asks, is this dude for folks? This Cameron is, he'll tell you he's for real. But Cameron is our fun crypto miner. He owns a physical crypto mine, like underground, people mining for crypto with like pickaxes. I think you can guess if he's real or not with that bit of information. We could work it out, I think. Hey, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Joey from South Carolina.
Hey, Joey from South Carolina. What would you like to talk about?
So first of all, last time I called in, there were some connection issues. So do I sound okay to you?
Sounds fine. Everything's great. And if I recall, your setup that you have going is a beaut. It's you're coming in clearer than anyone else who calls in.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. All right. So first of all, have you mentioned today about what El Salvador is doing with Bitcoin?
Oh, we did an episode on it.
Right. I didn't know if you had brought it up today. Is that what you were
Oh
talking
no,
about today?
we'd not
Yeah.
brought it up today. No. I mean, obviously, I'm sure the crash there is affecting El Salvador, who actually has Bitcoin as its official legal tender, along with U.S. dollars. So they're not solely running on Bitcoin. Thank God. Imagine that. But the situation was so bad when I talked to Mario Gomez 2 weeks ago that I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, as bad as the crash is, I can't imagine how bad, much worse it could possibly have gotten in El Salvador.
Right. So they're basically tripling down, and I don't know at this point what quintupling down and buying more, because every time it dips, they buy.
Yes, Bukele is. I don't know if he bought any today, but he did buy yesterday, and he bought it at 30K, like 100
Yep.
or so Bitcoin, maybe even more, like 500 Bitcoin, maybe
500. Yeah.
500 Bitcoin at around 30K, and he said he bought the dip, but guess what? Excuse me, I think I need to get a drink in a second because I ran out of water. I mean soda. He said he bought the dip at 30K, but the problem is that the dip kept on dipping, and he immediately lost money. I mean, obviously you don't really lose until you sell, so he's holding. So, but his investment is down right now, and it was down literally the second he bought it.
Yep. All right. So the reason I bring this up is I recently posted on Facebook, which I pretty much just keep to like friends and family, and it was a seemingly innocuous post where I was like, I'm concerned about the people of El Salvador with how their government keeps investing into Bitcoin, like that has terrible implications for their economy and living there. And within like a minute, I had a libertarian crypto all over my stuff saying like, you should commend them from taking charge of their future and, not relying on some dead currency. He was talking about the US dollar, by the way. And like, I'm like, I don't get it. Like, these people are unhinged. Like, in the grand scheme of things, the US dollar is fine. It's actually pretty well compared to like other national currencies. And on top of that, like even most emerging market currencies have been holding up better over the COVID times than like the won and the US dollar and stuff like that. So it blows my mind. And then like when I try to steer the direction back to crypto itself and that it has no use value or anything like that, he just keeps redirecting it back to how the US dollar is garbage and how the Fed just keeps printing too much money. And I just don't know what to do with these people. I ended up having
these guys have no idea. The Federal Reserve guys who are into crypto, and the Fed folks who are into crypto are the funniest because they show flat on their ass they have no idea how this whole market is working, what's propping it up. Fucking Tether just prints up money, and they're not even backed by a government. And that's why your Bitcoin is worth what it's worth, because there's so much Tether propping up the Bitcoin price. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. And if we're going to a lot of these guys are also the ones who are like obsessed with inflation. Like when the cost of some, like they're obsessed, like, oh, look at the gas prices. You're spending an extra 50 cents on gas, like each gallon of gas, 50 cents more. You want to talk about hyperinflation? How much is your Bitcoin now worth? I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and this guy, he did the same thing. He immediately transitioned to inflation, but the way he worded it was to go down on the U.S. dollar. So he's like, basically, the U.S. dollar is worthless now, and he was basing it strictly off of the sheer amount of U.S. dollars in rotation. And I was like, are you going to completely dismiss inflation? And he's like, oh no, why?
He literally said the U.S. dollar is worthless now.
Right. Yes.
Does he hold Bitcoin?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course he does.
Have you ever asked him how much Bitcoin does he own?
No, he was pretty early in on it, so I'm sure he's being propped up by his early.
No, but the next time he says the U.S. dollar is worthless and means nothing, you should ask him, how much, what is his Bitcoin investment currently at? See what he says to you. Will he say, "Oh, my Bitcoin investment is 20 Bitcoins," or so? That would be a pretty big investment. But is he going to say like, "Oh, 2 Bitcoins," or is he going to say, "Oh, $45,000"? Oh, I thought you said the U.S. dollar was worthless. You're literally valuing your Bitcoin investment in U.S. dollars. That's what they all do. No one ever walks around going like, "Look at me, big time crypto investor. I own 30 Bitcoin." No one says that. They go, "Oh, I own $600,000 worth of Bitcoin." Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I'm sorry to cut you off. You were going to go into what he said to you, but I just couldn't let that go. I'm sorry. That was just can't believe.
I get it. But no, basically he just kept tying everything back to on fiat currency is essentially where he was going, because these crypto libertarians, they're all about the gold backed currencies, and can kind of say the same thing with Bitcoin, where it doesn't really have any use value. You just hold on to it for forever until, a rainy day or whatever like that. But it just blows my mind. I don't know how to handle him. I ended up just having to block the guy because he would literally not stop commenting on my stuff. So I don't know, man. It's crazy.
That's, it's sort of like, to go back to like, oh, you should feel bad for these guys. Like, I mean, I do for some of them, but then at the same time, like, you want me to feel bad for these guys who are like it's literally like QAnon. Like I say it all the time. This is because this is a cult. You're talking to people who literally are losing everything, and they're still saying, just trust the system, man. Just believe in it. It's like, wake up, man. Like, what's wrong with you? You're fucking being taken advantage of. I'm literally telling you, you're being taken advantage of. You're literally seeing yourself being taken advantage of, and you're just like continuing to perpetuate you being taken advantage of. It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah. So the real problem here is that like normal people that don't really know much about finance or crypto or anything investing, they're gonna look at that guy and be like, "Oh, he seems to know what he's talking about. I better get in on this." And I mean, just like with the people with El Salvador, that has huge implications.
Yes, as Luna was crashing yesterday, there were literally crypto influencers online saying, it was at the high was at before it started crashing was like $80 or something, and it starts going, it's hit 40. There were crypto influencers with hundreds of thousands of followers I saw that said, "This is the biggest opportunity you guys will ever see. Buy right now. I'm doing it. You're going to regret it. This is literally your once in a lifetime opportunity to get in at this level." And again, that $40 continued to go down, and it's now sitting at less than a penny. The Luna, the one that was supposed to gain in value, and it is an investment, it is now worth less than the stable coin that was supposed to be pegged to $1 and dipped. The fucking stable coin is worth more than Luna. Like it's just unbelievable. And these guys are just,
All right. one last thing.
Sure.
There's been a few people in chat talking about like how crypto is basically like buying an asset like a stock. No, it's way worse than that, because if you're a shareholder, you have voting rights as a shareholder, and then on top of that, you actually have something like that it's representing like a company, or a commodity, or whatever. Crypto is literally just nothing, and it has no use value whatsoever. It on top of it being harmful to the environment to produce and maintain, it's just worthless. It's awful.
Yeah.
Yep.
On top of that, I think people who want to argue the stock market is just as well, it's not just as scummy, but people who want to argue that there's scams and scummy shit going on, obviously, yes, definitely manipulated. But there are ways where you can actually make a determination of like you can make a safe bet on the stock market. Like, people who get fucked on the stock market are usually people who are going for risky stocks because they want to see it, they want to see it go to the moon, and they think it's gonna like all of a sudden raise in value. But there are actually like generally safe stocks on the stock market, ones that even if they dip, that the company that's representative of the stock is fundamentally a legit company that will get it back on track. Like, investing in Google or Amazon or Apple, generally considered safe stocks to purchase. Again, you're not gonna get rich quick, which makes it not very interesting to these folks. But you likely, if you could hodl, you'll likely gain money, even during a dip, even after a dip, I should say. But for me, the main thing the main differentiating factor is that you can look at a stock, you can look at a company, you can look at their earnings, their quarterlies, you can look at their projections. There are fundamentals there where you can make an educated investment and base that information on whether you invest in the stock, how much you put in the stock, when you think you should get in, when you should get out. There's nothing like that in crypto. You wake up one morning and it's down. You've got no idea why. You wake up another morning, it's completely peaking, and you have no idea why. I'll tell you, the people who are making it do that know why, because they're the big moneyed whales who prop that shit up and know exactly what they're doing, whether they're shorting it, whether they're pumping it for a sale when more retail investors see and buy it up, and then they sell and take their money. It's way more risky. Even if you want to say both are shit, one is definitely a lot shittier than the other.
Yep. All right, man. Thanks for having me on, and have a good night.
Always a pleasure when you call in. Thanks a lot.
Yep. Take care.
Bye. All right, maybe I'll take one more call if there is. We are at the what minute mark? I don't even know. Where are we right now? Hour and a half. Oh, this Monday I will be on the Tim Pool Show, Timcast IRL. Definitely check that out. It should be very, very, very interesting. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Matt, this is Dr. Gus calling from Florida.
Hey, Dr. Gus calling from Florida. How are you? What would you like to talk about?
Good. Everything's good. I just want to say three things that have come up lately with crypto in my life. First, so I don't know if I've ever told you before or if you knew, I'm undocumented. I'm like a DACA person. So I kind of like go in and out of the DACA forums and like subreddits just to, keep up with what's going on. And something that I noticed maybe a year ago when crypto was booming is people were erroneously thinking, like undocumented people and DACA folk were they were thinking that they don't have access to the stock market because of their immigration status. DACA people do have, they can make accounts with brokers. They can invest in the stock market. Also, maybe before Biden won the election, DACA or well, now undocumented people in general, but DACA people were not able to get the federal housing loans, which are the subsidized loans to buying houses. So there was this overall belief in the forums that there was no good way to invest if you were in that immigration status. So there were people going into those forums trying to encourage people to buy crypto because it's an investment that supposedly the U.S. government cannot take away from you if you get deported, and it's the only thing that you have access to. So you can't buy a house because you don't have access to federal loans, and private loans are crazy. And then stock market, supposedly you can't do it either. So those are some of the people that I'm thinking about right now when everything's going to shit. People that kind of fell for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And a little bit related to that, I know this guy from Miami, some guy that I've known kind of for my whole life. It's kind of crazy. He's like, I knew him from gaming, and the kind of people that I don't know if you ever played like WoW or like RPGs like that. That kind of person that is always like into trying to scam people out of like their in-game money or like their items. Like that's what they've always done. Like that was their thing in every game that we played together. I don't know if you've run into people like that before. But this guy, obviously, I lost touch with him for like 10 years. And now I checked back in and he is deep in crypto. He's been making, he knows nothing of computers or anything like that, but he's been making tokens, and he's been like peddling crypto to his friends and family through Facebook. And he does it in Spanish. And yeah, a lot of the people around him are undocumented as well. And I've heard through the grapevine that he's hiding like $200,000 in well, it's probably much less now. That makes me feel a little bit good. He was hiding it in crypto because he got divorced and he didn't want to give it up to his wife, his ex-wife.
Oh my! Oh boy!
Right. So I also heard he has a partner, and this partner is the one that helps him put together. So he's kind of like he's kind of like a confidence man, and he has a partner that like creates the chains. The partner apparently got caught, so he's like not in it anymore, supposedly. I don't know if you'd be interested. I can maybe convince him to give you a call, so maybe you can kind of like, he can explain what he was doing, because they were just like literally doing rug pulls and just scamming people.
Oh, that would be very interesting. Yes, please. Wait, so what did they do? What did they create?
So they would. So I think they started with just literally Ethereum tokens. You just make a token.
Oh, they
on
were
the
creating
Ethereum
shit
blockchain.
coins on the Ethereum blockchain. Right. Okay.
Yeah. That's how they started.
A lot of people. Yeah.
I actually look when I saw these guys do it. I actually looked into how hard it is to make one, and I was gonna make a scam economy coin and shoot it your way, but yeah, it's kind of hard. It's not very straightforward. But anyway, that was that's what they were doing. That's how they started. But then apparently they've got more sophisticated. I've heard they've done 2 or 3 rug pulls, and that's how they made their money.
I actually, now that you mentioned it, I thought of a brilliant idea. I should start. I mean, I'm not going to do it because I wouldn't want to do it because the environmental shit. But I would create a stable coin that's pegged to nothing. Literally, you can just give it away. It never gains value, never loses. It's literally pegged to $0, and it's just bullshit. You throw it around and give it to people for no reason, just to fuck around. But of course, every transaction would then do something horrible. So no. Right. But if you could, that'd be pretty funny, I think.
Listen, here's the pitch.
But
Hear me out.
also, that's sort
We
of, I
make it-
guess, what Dogecoin was. No, because Dogecoin did want it to be worth something, just supposed to be worth so little that it was. I'm talking literally pegged to zero. It cannot be worth anything. It's just basically
Yeah. Huh. So what I was thinking is making a scam economy going, and then we go into crypto forums and we say, look at this guy. He shits on crypto all the time. Let's pump his coin to see what he does with it. And then we just take money from the crypto people that ironically want to pump your coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I've said this. I've said this to other people before. It is a little bit enticing to me. Again, I would feel because of the person I am, I would feel bad regardless. But hypothetically speaking, it is a bit enticing to me if you could just scam the scammers. I would. I mean, it is so the idea of it is so enticing to me. I know that I would feel bad if I actually did go through with it, even if I maybe if I scammed like a bunch of billionaires, I wouldn't, but even like some low level scammer, if I fucked, I'd feel bad. I don't know. That's just the idiot I am.
Heard, I've heard before. I can't remember what the story was, but it was this one guy that was like a huge scammer, and he had taken a shit ton of money from people, and then somebody convinced him that there was a World Bank especially only special for like very rich people, and the guy was like, he had scammed so many people and he had so much money that he like fell for that too. He he just had like galaxy brains at some point, and somebody scammed him out of all his money because they convinced him that like he was cool enough to go to a secret bank or something. I can't exactly remember, but I think a lot of crypto bros will be a lot of the scammers will be susceptible to something like that.
I mean, if you think about it, like, this is not even like, usually scammers are able to prey on people who are not technologically savvy, right? That's why they usually go after older people. Anyone who usually they find a mark, they bring up the stupidest idea possible just to see how gullible the person is, or like their level of understanding of the internet or the tech or whatever the scam is. And from there, they decide how to continue, how to take it further. To just buy into this shit, especially when you're talking about some of the shit coins that aren't on the major exchanges, when you're talking about NFTs, this isn't simple stuff. Like, it's not like just like you have a bank account and you put your credit card information or your debit card information in, and that's how you get taken advantage of. Like, this is like opening an account here, getting your wallet created, converting this token to that token, understanding, the exchange rates, understanding the overhead, the fees involved, all this sort of stuff. And it's like there is a barrier, a very large barrier, if I may, to entry. Yet they've somehow found the most technologically savvy, easy scammer marks in history. Easy to be scammed, I should say, marks in history. Like, usually people who are that tech savvy do not fall for shit like this in terms of like the straight up like scams.
Yeah, it's great. I find it great. Yeah, now that you put it that way.
Thank you, Slice Keeper. That's the word I was looking for. I could not. It's late. It's 11:36 over here.
So I have a friend. He grew up here in the U.S., but then he moved back to Argentina, and he's a programmer. And he got into crypto pretty heavily. And something that he was doing, which is beyond fucked up. In Argentina, when inflation hit, they had an inflationary crisis. They've had one for like 20 years, but something that the government did was started to subsidize electricity for the average person. So electricity in Argentina is extremely cheap. So this guy, obviously, what he did is he set up a bunch of mines, a bunch of Ethereum mines with subsidized electricity. Electricity that's supposed to go for people below the poverty level to help them survive. He was just setting up some crypto mining stuff. So this guy, he's capable of doing that. There's a blockchain called Solana, that crypto chain or whatever. Yeah, it came out. It pumped a few months ago, and he wanted to get a job as a Solana developer. He started interviewing and he got into it, and he learned how to make NFTs for one of these games as well.
Right.
Solana
is basically. Well, go ahead. I won't cut you off. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Explain.
I was going to say Solana is basically it's one of the bigger blockchain. Obviously, it's nowhere near as big as Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's trying to be the environmentally friendly Ethereum instead of proof of work, which is what basically wastes all that energy that Bitcoin and Ethereum use up. It's proof of stake. It's the fees are lower. It doesn't use up as much energy, and next to Ethereum. But when I mean next to Ethereum, I mean like if Ethereum's like the NFT blockchain, the network where most NFTs are, and that's here. Like Solana's number 2, and it's like not even on the screen. Basically, all the big NFTs are on the Ethereum blockchain. But also, for a decentralized currency, Solana is very, very centralized because it is very much backed by venture capital. And VCs are amongst the biggest holders of Solana. And when I mean biggest holders, I mean they hold like something like 35% of what's out there. Solana. I mean, that's a lot. That's not. I mean, when we talk about who's going to have success on Solana, it's not going to be you or me. It's going to be those VCs.
And I think those VCs are now out because Solana's down like 80% from its peak. It's like $40 now. It used to be like $220 at its peak. So I don't know what they're going to do. And now that NFTs
nothing. The only things that have taken off is obviously Bitcoin because it's the granddaddy of them all, and then Ethereum because of the ecosystem it's built out. There's nothing else that comes close. I mean, Tether obviously, but Tether isn't a business to customer facing organization. Tether is legitimately working straight up like directly with the exchanges. So I mean, if you're going to talk about like what props up, what is crypto? Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Tether. But I mean, like I said, Tether is not front facing to the consumer.
Right. And yeah, and now with NFTs being like, it was obviously always going to crumble, but now they're absolutely worthless. This guy that I was telling you about that got into the Solana thing as a developer, he put all his savings, all his earnings on Ethereum into buying NFTs for a game that they thought was gonna take off. And when NFTs crumbled, he ended up selling at a big loss, and he held Solana, and now he's out of all that money. I mean, I don't feel bad for him at all because the way he made that money, it's super fucked up. But yeah, there's everyone's running for the hills now.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting for sure. Thanks for the call. Always a pleasure when you call in, Dr. Gus.
Yeah, man. Thanks for taking my call, and have a good night.
You too. Take care. Folks, I think my my voice is gone. Let me read this. I'm gonna have to wrap it up. I also need to save my voice for Monday. Super chats, not many this week, but that's fine. It happens. Maybe everyone lost their money on the crypto crash. Andy Cole with a super chat. A number of friends got into real estate the past few years, and most of them in crypto as well. Maybe a symptom of knowing the game is rigged, but hoping you're not too late. Yeah. Kowalski with a super chat. Godspeed on Monday. Just bring your own beverages. I will be. That did come to mind, but not just because I don't think they'll have what I need. I'm gonna need soda. I'm gonna need energy drinks. Of course, folks, patreon.com/MattBinder to support this show. What else? What I want to say? Um. Oh, let me thank the patrons that joined over the past. I just lost somebody. Literally, just as I went to check and shout people out, the number just dropped. Oh, it happens. It happens. Like I say, take care of yourself and your family first. The money you send to me should only be disposable income that you want to use because you enjoy the content. The content is currently not, I mean, it's never been paywalled. I have no intention of, like, maybe I'll do extra stuff, but never any intention of paywalling the main shows, whether it be Scam Economy or Doomed. Let's see. Thank you to Brendan M., Jeremy D., Fitz B., and Stephen S. for becoming patrons over the past week. Can't do the show without you guys. It really does help me grow out the show. Eventually, I'd like to bring people on board. We're getting closer and closer. You know, I would say we're closer than halfway to doing that, and then about 1/3 of the way of where I would like to be in general. And over twitch.tv/MattBinder. Thank you to Steakum619 for subscribing with Prime. Robot Monkey Cat for resubscribing. Paid subscription. Subscriber for 6 months. Thank you, Robot Monkey Cat. This is over at twitch.tv/MattBinder. Roger Wabbit, thank you so much for subscribing with Prime. John Marzo, thank you for the Prime subscription. Psycho Beast, thank you for the Prime subscription. Command Ramon, thank you for the Prime subscription. Speculum Fight, thank you for resubscribing with Prime. Ooh, subscriber for 5 months. Thank you. One-Eyed Bandit, thank you for subscribing with Prime. Amused Mob, thank you for resubscribing with Prime. Subscribe for 3 months, excuse me, and you left a little comment, a little musical note. I'm so glad that Jurgen is a red. I'm so glad that he delivered what he said. Jurgen said to me, you know we'll win the Premier League. You know he said so. I'm in love with him and feel fine. What is that from? What is that? I don't even know. Jurgen Klopp, I'm so glad. Not familiar with that, honestly, but thank you. Thank you, TYT, for the raid, by the way. If you're on Twitch watching and you're not a subscriber, it's just like a free follower. A free follower. You know, just click the follow button. That's all. No money cost to you. Thank you, Meal Solutions, for subscribing with Prime. Cam Like a Tom gave out 5 community sub gifts. Thank you for doing that, Cam Like a Tom. Really appreciate that. Rebel Without a Cause resubscribed with Prime. Subscriber for 6 months. Thank you. Johnny Anchovies gave out a community sub gift. Thank you, John Anchovies. The Wasting Time subscribed for 1 month at tier 1. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the support over on Twitch. People really loving Twitch. Shit. I should have spent more time on Twitch, you know? I got the audience on YouTube, the big spenders over on Twitch, and the Patreon ebbing and flowing like it's a crypto. Thank you guys all so much. Really appreciate the support. It means a hype train just started over on Twitch. I guess I'll stay on until the hype train is done. Nug Wrangler with a 1 month tier 1 subscription gift to Loose Leaf CA. Thank you for that. Andy Reno just subscribe with Prime. Let me pull up the Twitch on the feed here so you guys can enjoy the fun with me. Let's do this. Give me a second to where is it? Picture in picture. Not playing this. Let's do. There we go. Let me and then set this up correctly for that. And gotta go back in. All right, there we are. 50% of the way at level 2. We got Chopsis 1 with a cheer with 1 bit. Thank you. Philbo Schwaggins just gave out a community sub gift. Thank you, Philbo Schwaggins. Quagga resubscribed with Prime subscriber for 2 months with a comment too. Left is best, folks. Don't forget to use your slurp juices on doomed/scam economy. Right, and if you if you use one slurp juice on how did it go again? On 3 of your Matt Binders, you get I don't remember how it went, man. I don't know, but you get if you use 1 slurp juice on a Matt Binder, you end up getting 2 shows. Let's put it that way. So don't forget that. You have double the shows now. It was just doomed, right? You used to just pay and get doomed. Oh, just 1 show for my subscription. Oh, but then you added the slurp juice in and you doubled that, and all of a sudden the second show popped up. Here's Scam Economy. Ugh, it took me a second to really save it there, but I think I pulled it off. Damn, YouTube, you're getting owned over by the Twitch people. You're not going to drop any... Oh, I can't believe I'm going to try to do this. You're not going to drop any super chats over on YouTube to compete with the moneyed interests over on Twitch? Can't believe it. Can't believe it. What else? Oh, yeah. So, Tim Pool on Monday. Then... Scam Economy Live in Brooklyn on May 26th. It's a Thursday. That's not this upcoming Thursday, the Thursday after. And, also, when I end the feed, who should I raid? I want to raid someone who is I don't make it sound like I'm like I want to raid someone who is worthy, but no, I want to raid someone who could use the number of viewers I currently have on Twitch, and I want to, spread the love, help out some fellow, streamers. Chopsis 1 with the 5-bit cheer. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Jay Fastry in the YouTube chat says, I lost too much on Luna. Can't afford super chat. That's all right. I understand. Yeah. Nug Wrangler says, I'm going to start a stream just so Matt could raid me at night. I'd be happy to raid you. Amy EC3 is the only political streamer I follow online other than you, says Washa. I've raided Amy EC3 plenty of times. If she's on right now, I'd be happy to raid her, but I want to raid someone who I've not raided before, if that's possible. Problem is that I stream late, and apparently apparently I'm like one of the few people who in our little circle of streamers that streams at night. Jeez, apparently everyone else is a full-time streamer, right? Everyone's streaming during the day because it's their day job. Ooh, look at you, full-time streamers. Lowly part-time streamers like me who got day jobs, we got to stream at night. We gotta work the back-to-back jobs, the second shift. Yeah, left late night Twitch doesn't have many pickings, says Washa. Right. Ponderosapian says, Matt, you got to make a list of streamers to raid. LOL. Yeah, I feel like I'm doing this every week now, right? Thank you all for the hype train. Hype train completed at level 2. Your community contributed a total of 6 sub gifts and 6 bits. Thank you guys so much. Again, I'm not big on Twitch, so this means a lot to me. Just every little bit helps. Truly, really, it does. All right, I guess I will do, who's Lana Rhodes? All right, let me pull myself back up on the stream, remove the raid stuff. And here we go. I'm going to look up who to raid. Who's Lana Rhodes? Who's Lana Lux? Why does that sound familiar? That just popped up. Is that a lefty streamer? I don't know. No, it doesn't seem like it. This is just like a game streamer. I don't know. The name sounded like it could have been a lefty thing. I'll go with who else is on? Pixel Smixel. Let me look up Pixel Smixel. Unfamiliar with Pixel Smixel. Maybe I'll raid Pixel Smixel. Talking Roe v. Wade. That sounds good to me. Let's do that. That sounds very good. A new person who I have not rated before. Let's do Pixel Smixel. Pixel Smixel. Cool. Here we go. All right, folks. Starting the raid now. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Everyone on Twitch, all the new Twitch folks who watched, who came from the TYT raid. Really appreciate it. Please don't forget to follow the channel so you know when I go live. I don't want to miss out on you guys next time around. I do, again, Doomed every Tuesday usually, and Scam Economy every Thursday. Doomed is the show where I cover the right wing, reactionary movements, conspiracy theories, and that's where the full-blown political lefty stuff happens. And then Thursday is Scam Economy, where you get a still lefty stuff, but it's focused on the crypto economy, the scam economy, cryptocurrency, Web3, NFTs, again from a rare leftist perspective. I don't know any shows that there's just a few. Again, Bennett Tomlin runs one. Very few crypto skeptic anti-crypto shows. Even fewer straight up shows that are taking it on from a leftist perspective. That's what I do Thursday nights with Scam Economy. ScamEconomy.com, doomedcast.com. Follow me at Matt Binder on Twitter. Patreon.com/MattBinder. If you can subscribe there, that'd be fantastic. Don't forget to attach your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account if you don't already, and drop that free Twitch Prime subscription you get if if you can. And otherwise, I'll see you all next time on the Scam Economy.